2 years ago when Kanye West kind of went ballistic and he started saying that he loved Hitler and he was all over the news, lost his huge deal with Adidas, started saying things. People thought it was anti Semitic. There was a great interview with Eric Weinstein, who actually shows a different side to this story, which I thought was very interesting, which didn't make the news at all, which should have made the news actually. So we're gonna watch the first part. We're gonna look at the interview he had with Alex Jones, and when he mentions that he loves Hitler, and then we'll watch the other segment.
Yeah, you're explaining that, like you said, you love the Zionists. You don't agree with some of the things they're doing, even though you don't support a lot of what's happening. Seriously, I've really studied a lot of history. Plus, I had family that was there, and so I mean, I don't think Hitler was a good guy. I get the Hugo Boss uniforms, amazing. But I mean, just because you're in love with the design, you're a designer. Can we just kind of say like you like the uniforms, but that's about it?
No, we no. There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things. Hey, Netten, what did you think about that, Netten? This is insane. You are an insane person. How could you say something? It's okay that.
So let me ask you, you like the Azog Battalion because they openly Heil Hitler. They're the leftovers of World War II. They support Zelensky and attacking Russia. So you like the Azog Battalion?
I love everyone.
Well, my point is you weren't involved.
So on that segment, you hear him actually say, "I love everyone. I love everyone." Let's hear what Eric Weinstein has to say on the Joe Rogan show.
Detour. Okay. People do not understand what happened with Kanye. And I want to talk about this from a Jewish perspective. Kanye, in 2018, for some reason, Candace Owens, of all people, was like my fan. And she called me up. She said, "I'm meeting with Kanye, which is my dream. I want you to be there." Like, what? All right, I show up. Kanye is the most kind, creative, mentally ill, wonderful, generous person you could imagine.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay? Kanye is like, "Can you come over tomorrow? Can you come out to Calabasas?" We're like hanging out, me and Kanye, as if this makes any effing sense. By the way, he's got an NDA that is the most ghetto lawyer thing I've ever seen. It's like, if you say anything about this meeting, we'll take your child, we'll take your left testicle, you will have nothing. I'm like, I am not signing this. Well, you're not meeting Kanye. It's like, fine, it's only Calabasas. I'll take an Uber home. F you. Like, they call up Kanye, like, don't make him sign, just come through. So I come through.
So funny.
And I'm like hanging out with Kanye, like geek and the rap god, and like he's got this videographer who's like filming everything. And I'm like, I cannot deal with this person. Send him away. So he sends him away. And Kanye and I have this heart to heart. And let me tell you something. This is uncomfortable to say. I cannot imagine a kinder, more creative, more gentle, more loving, more inclusive person. He invites me on the spot to a listening party for his new tracks. And I say, I have to get home to Pia and the kids. He's like, well, you don't understand. It's Kanye's album. I'm dropping it. And it's like, I don't care. It's my wife and my kids. I got to get home. So he's like, okay, come to Wyoming. So he's inviting me to Wyoming with him. I'm like, dude, I'm a math person. Cut it out. He's like, well, you have to come to Wyoming. All right. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Now, I get this call from Kanye. He's like, oh, Eric, I can't tell you how amazing this all is. I was just at TMZ, and I was explaining the theory about slavery and how this whole thing works, and Jews and Passover, and I was explaining how much I love Hitler. I'm like, what did you say? So I was explaining how much I love Hitler. It's like, huh? I missed a meeting, a memo, something? And I realized, okay, Kanye is focused on this spiritual Sunday thing. And I realized what this is Jesus. Jesus loves everybody. No matter how horrible you are, Jesus loves you. Okay? And Kanye is thinking, what would Jesus do? And I'm realizing, like, I'm thinking at top speed. Like, he's talking about Hitler at TMZ, whatever. I said, Kanye, I want you to listen to me. He's like, yeah. I said, I want you to run to TMZ. They don't want to destroy you, I guarantee it, because you're a long-term property that matters. And there's no reason that they would want to destroy you. And I want you to beg them not to release what you said. Don't question me. Just do it. He runs to TMZ, and they don't release this thing. And I guarantee you that they have the videotape.
So at this point, you see a completely different output on how the story went, which no one in the news actually mentioned, because they only wanted to share one side of the story, which sells media, right? But this was a very, very interesting point of view, a different side of the story, which Eric Weinstein mentions during his appearance on the Joe Rogan show. But then he says something also very interesting.
Kanye was in the wrong scene. He wasn't equal to the thing he was taking on. It wasn't his to forgive Hitler and to celebrate Hitler. He's not Jesus. But I feel terrible about what happened to Kanye. And I'll tell you one of the reasons I feel terrible about it. Because all of us were enjoying Kanye's mental illness. His genius comes straight out of his mental illness. And we loved him because he was so unfiltered, so real. So when I see Rihanna holding him up, my feeling is, no, it's not for you to hold him up. I tried to save Kanye. I didn't even say anything about it, right? And Kanye, I think, turned on me, stopped returning my phone calls because he felt manipulated. But the fact of the matter was, I wanted Kanye to persist, and I didn't want his comment about I love Hitler and TMZ to take him out because I thought he was a force for good. So yes, there may be Jews that are exploiting him financially, but there are also Jews who are trying to save him, as I believe Lex tried to do 1,000,000 times.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, we love each other. Ultimately, we're all family.
So that was a very nice and genuine comment. Was Kanye West entertaining everyone within his sickness or mental illness, whatever you want to call it? 100%. Was it fair to do it? Absolutely not. I'm still a huge fan of Kanye West. I love all his music. I'm so happy that he got married again. I find his wife super attractive. And yeah, I mean, all the best for the future of Kanye. And it's also important to actually put in perspective true version of the stories that sometimes we hear about. It needs to be said and shared.